Our communities have struggled. It's time to rebuild and heal. Now, it's time that we follow the trusted voices and get vaccinated.
We are the heartbeat of the community.
The Jacksonville Coronavirus Education and Engagement Task Force.
Go.
Reverend, how is it that you have made it through this pandemic that we've been in and dealing with the issues that have been coming at the church full speed ahead during these past 2 years, I should say?
Ed, I'm going to be honest with you. If it had not been for social media, I'm not sure we would have been able to sustain, certainly not to the level we've been able to sustain to.
That's been one of our blessings too, is because of live streaming and the virtual streaming out to be able to reach our people and to be able to continue to share the message and try to find a way of communicating one with another during this time, because it's been some lonely days for some people that's been shut up at home.
And that's why I'm sure that this roundtable discussion is so important for other pastors. There are just so many pastors who got lost in the midst of this pandemic. And I know that we have the skills and others that we're bringing in on the 11th of April to help them. And I think that's the key, is to help other churches.
It's got to be, because we're all in this same boat.
Absolutely.
And there are churches that have struggled. There are churches that are not even back in church, even as of today.
Right.
And there are churches, some that I found out, that have actually closed their doors.
Yes.
But I think that once we get past the disinformation and the misinformation and share with people how we can make it during this crisis time, I think it will be a blessing to the entire community and to each and every church for those that come out to share in it.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's why I'm so excited about the 11th at the round table, because I know that after that's over, we'll be helping churches, people, and certainly the information we're going to give will keep people out of the hospital and out of the morgue. And that's very important, because as you know, BA.2 is out now.
Yes. But tell me something. What made you join up and become a part of this task force?
To be honest with you, seeing so many African Americans going to the emergency room, going to the morgue, and then I personally had an experience in December before there was any vaccination, where I was in intensive care for 14 days in the midst of death for the first 7 days. And so after that, I mean, I had to be committed to it, because I knew what it was like to walk through it.
When I was called and asked to be a part of the statewide task force and then the local task force, it was because they were emphasizing trusted voices to make sure that you trust a voice
Right.
that you have confidence in that will tell you the truth.
Absolutely.
And the thing that really got me was one that was very close to me. In March of 2020, before there was even a vaccine on the market, came down with COVID-19 and therefore passed in April.
Wow.
And he was very close to me. I won't call his name for his family's sake, but what he was, that was early in the game of this pandemic. And therefore, I have been concerned about what can we do? How can we? And we've been blessed at the church that we've never had anyone, any member during this past 2 years that I have funeralized because of COVID-19.
Wow, that's a blessing. That's a blessing because unfortunately there are, I've had a couple of deacons and other members of the church who have passed on. And then the sad part was, I wasn't able to have a funeral for them, and so the family suffered. And that's why I know that when we had the Day of Remembrance at JP Small Park, we helped a lot of people during that situation. They were able to come out and grieve. And so I think the next time around, when we have one, it should be part 2.
Yes. And I think that coming together and sharing, because information is so important to us.
Right.
The scripture says, my people are destroyed
For
for a
lack of
lack of knowledge.
Yes.
And I don't want to go into that second part. He said, because you have rejected knowledge.
Right.
And I'm inviting everyone to come to be a part of this task force, this town hall, that we might be able to take those professionals, those pastors, those persons that have experienced, and have dialogue about what is actually going on and how we survived and how we made it through this.
And we want people to know, Elder, that this is not something just thrown together. We're bringing professionals.
Yes.
We're bringing people who know what they're talking about. We're bringing people who have the education, the experience on the ground with it. And so it won't be any speculation or pulling stuff out the air. It will be those people who can give you the honest to God truth about this virus.
Yes. So I'm excited about what's coming up, and I'm just happy about all of the people that have given themselves to be a part of the COVID-19 statewide task force and the local task force. We call them trusted voices, and we meet at trusted venues where we will be able to share this information.
Yes. Yeah.
Our communities have struggled. It's time to rebuild and heal. Now, it's time that we follow the trusted voices and get vaccinated.
We are the heartbeat of the community.
Jacksonville Coronavirus Education and Engagement Task Force.
Hello, I'm Pastor F.D. Newbill, pastor for the last 35 years in the city of Jacksonville.
And I'm Elder Lee Harris, senior pastor at the Mount Olive Primitive Baptist Church, and also a part of the local task force for the Jacksonville COVID-19. And we're inviting each and every one of you to come out and to share with us as we host a town hall meeting on April 11th, how to survive and thrive during this COVID-19 period.
This one-day symposium for faith leaders only is sponsored by the Jacksonville COVID Task Force of Jacksonville. Light dinner will be served and a wealth of information will be given. But you must RSVP your space for dinner. Go sign up at www.growjax.info or text us at 1-724-414-2333. Type the word attend.